Here's an interesting thought. Mid-March right now. Probably be closer to end of March. By the time this episode airs, but we got a big snowstorm. As we do every March, it seems. Some of the biggest snows always seem to come either in January or March for my area. Now, can you get snow in February? You bet your ass you can get snow in February. But boy, when it snows in March, you are in for hurting. As that snow comes down like, it seems to come down like in the wintertime, December particularly. When snow falls, it's very light and fluffy, and it seems to blow around a lot. Occasionally you'll get heavier snowstorms, obviously, in December. January is usually when you get the most cold, the most snow in western PA. Southwest PA, that is. But if we get snow in March, it's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's not the light wispy kind that you get in December and or January. It's the heavy, very watery kind that seems to fall and pile up very quickly because it's like not fully materialized, if you will. Instead of being a snowflake, it's like a snow clump, and it all comes down. It's very dense and watery, and you know, when they say, "Oh, it'll only snow a couple inches," well, a couple inches means a lot more when it's heavy, wet snow versus the, fluffy, white, powdery snow you get. So, I went to bed one night knowing that it was probably going to snow. About an inch, roughly. About an inch was going to snow. I woke up and there was probably 6 inches of snow, I'd say. Easily. And it was very heavy, and it was weighing down my bushes to the point that I was like, do I knock this off? Or do I let this go? Because you know how, typically you imagine, here's your bush. It's round, it's been well trimmed. The snow sits on top of it like a dust covering over top of your bush. Well, this is heavy snow, and my bush is kind of like going like, I can't hold all this shit. Please help me. And so I didn't. Why? Because I didn't want to. It'll melt. It'll melt in a day or two. The other thing with March, at least in PA, is that one day it's 60 degrees, the next day it's in the teens.
The Dark Knight who assaulted Rhyme, slaughtering innocents by the score. What have you done with Lancelot? What have you done with my brother?
A bird's place is in the stew pot, not the battlefield.
Mind your taunts. They always come home to roost.
He's got a sense of humor, I'll give him that. Anywho.
I've a score to settle with you from Rhyme.
Rhyme? Ah, yes. You failed to defend her, as I recall, Knight. How are you with your other ladies? You must disappoint them as well.
I'd be more worried about my own fortunes and love were I you. When I'm finished with you, the ladies would barely know you for a man, let alone a knight.
I'm not sure if I imagine that's a castration joke, but I also have a feeling that he might mess up his face and body so much that you won't be able to tell if he's male or female. But anyways, what I was talking about now. Yeah, that's the fun thing about Western PAs. Like a day before it snowed, we were in the 60s. Then we got heavy winds to the point that some of my parents lost power briefly. My sibling One of my siblings lost power for 3 days. Then it snows. Then, you know, you wake up and you're like, oh good, look at all this snow. And then you go to work and it rains and then all the snow's gone. You're like, okay. That's a thing. That can happen in the course of 3 days. But who knows? Where it starts getting dangerous because I got my mages down here at the bottom, and there's dark knights that could easily come over this wall and start wreaking havoc with my mages. Like this. Luckily, he survived that. Goodbye. Done for you. Hooray! Back off. Big damage. And it range too. Rise from your grave. Too close, a little too far. I would like to kill you. Nope. Fearful. Bye-bye. Except not bye-bye. Move over and maybe kill the petrified guy instead. So you can't actually kill him, you can only cause enough damage they retreat. So, hooray hooray. That's what we're gonna do. Make him retreat. Retreat. That's not much damage. Alright, we're gonna get rid of you. Goodbye. Or not. Quite enough. Nope. That's fun. Click. Run away. Boo. Double boo. And yet she survives somehow. Hurrah. 153 damage back. Soon. Oof, 260 damage on a return hit is just ridiculous to me.
I find myself needing to depart. I suppose I have a good excuse at least.
Alright. We've defeated the Dark Knight. Barbus! And we're gonna move on to rescuing our sister in just a minute. First, let's look at all the spoils we gathered. And experience points that I don't get to keep because, well, I get to keep them, it just, they don't go anywhere right now. We're going to vanquish the enemy leader. You want to guess who that is? If you guess Lancelot, you're right. We're gonna beat up Lancelot. We're gonna give him the what for? Depending on how you answer the question with the
I do not
guy a
leave the
couple
field
episodes
easily,
ago,
but I admit we are outmatched.
she may or may not join this battle.
Joshua, we return to Heim.
In this case, she's not going to join.
Decrepit castle crumbles around us.
No, I've had my fill of flight.
You must heed me.
Yet, you're still
To the
going to go
back
back to your
chambers at
chambers,
once.
regardless. Bye-bye.
Sister!
Sister.
Denim of Goliath. May the chariot favor the better man.
In other words, may the wheel of fate favor whoever's the better fighter, better team, what have you. Alright, strategy for this one, similar to the previous one. We're going to use Canifis' ability to fly to take out the archers that are going to be up top. We're going to carefully move, hopefully, these people over. So that they, that's a good start. An excellent start. Jeez. I don't have enough for a speed up, but that was a pretty good, I'll get a freebie out of this in a turn or so. Why, look who it is. It's Ursula. Hello, Ursula. How are you doing today? Oh, I'm doing well, fine, thank you for asking. I'm not really sure what benefit it would be to split your guys here. Other than to try to get the mages, or I'm sorry, the Dark Knights to engage you down here. Away from where the archers are. But I'm pretty sure that if the game wants to, it could probably hit me from as high as they're standing. It could probably hit me from anywhere. Yep. It's fine. Much too high for me to reach, so we'll have to get up there with our flight ability. Go floof, floof, floof up there. Boink. That's a parry. That's kind of stuff you want to see. That's okay. As long as they parry some stuff, that's all I care about. You know, they don't. I mean, if they do it one I don't know, let's say 1 every 5 or 1 of every 10 hits. That's fair enough for me, you know. Velocity shift is such a fucking broken move, though. I mean, it's not broken, but it's like, hey, would you like all of your really slow guys to go immediately? Well, here we go. Because guess that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to use this thing that's going to speed up everybody's RT, which means the Denim and some of these other characters that are very slow in terms of their turns coming up suddenly are like, you go to the front of the line. So, I know Quicken, you know, obviously speeds up their turns. It I think by basically lowering their RT. But sometimes I just don't. Well, look at that long list of characters that have to go after my ninja. This is gonna suck. One. Magic. 2. 3. 4. 5. Magic. 6. Magic. Aha! They got ha-ha guy. Yep, that's what we're doing. We're getting up here. If I get lucky, I'll knock him off the wall. Realized you were gonna stand on the wall like that. I might have brought a shield instead and knocked your ass down here. I'm gonna be interested to see if Lancelot goes after Cataphys or not. I feel like he should, but there's a lot more delicious enemies down here that are gonna be bunched up here than not. Probably be worth his while to not attack him. Ugh. Let's go. I... I've been watching Baki again. They came out with a new season, I guess. New to me, let's just put it that way. I say that because a lot of stuff I've discovered comes out on Crunchyroll before it comes out, before like other streaming services like Netflix ends up getting it. Typically there's not a lot of stuff that, you know, Netflix gets first, and then, you know, if you want to watch it as it premieres, you go to Netflix to watch it. A great example of that was I was watching Dr. Stone, which I believe is in its 3rd season now, maybe 4th season. And they only had, at the time, I think they only had the 1st season. And now I think they've got 1st and 2nd season on Netflix. But I know they're further along than that because the storyline sort of ends in an appropriate... The storyline as it is ends in kind of an appropriate place to end a season, where you wrap up some of the more important storyline factors, but you sort of leave stuff also hanging, so you're like, oh, there's so much more we want to do, you know. But sort of gets to my point. Baki came back, and if I mentioned this in an early episode, I apologize. It's been probably out for a couple weeks now, if not previously on like a Crunchyroll. But they resurrect in an earlier season. They resurrected a caveman, so that the people, the characters that are all fighters that are looking for this to be the strongest, to fight the strongest, basically can fight this guy because he is an unknown fighter who comes from a more primitive time. He's sort of an apex predator type person. So they fought him and blah blah blah. Some shit happened. Not anything really all that remarkable, I would say, happened in terms of like character progression, storyline progression. But this time around, they decided they're going to go back to the well. Except this time, instead of resurrecting a caveman, they resurrect Miyato Musisa. Yeah, I'm screwing up his name now. Miyamoto Musashi, something like that. Probably still screwing it up. He was famous two-handed swordsman. I've seen his name pop up in a number of other things as well. I don't know if I talked about Yaiba. There was a kind of a kiddie show called Legendary Samurai Yaiba, I think is the name of the anime. Anyways, is very early in the series. The show kind of takes like it seems like it's going to be a show kind of about kendo and being sort of the best at kendo, and then it sort of takes a left-hand turn when a rival character ends up picking up sort of a cursed sword. And he gains all this power, and then it sort of becomes like this, all right, we're gonna have to go do some training, and you're gonna go fight this guy, and then, oh, we found, you know, we find the legendary swordsman who never died. Why? Because Because in the storyline, Yaba goes back in time and tells him about the hot chicks that are in his current age. So he lives 300 years or something to get to the current age so he can see all the hot chicks. Anyways. So he pops up a number of times in, Japanese lore because he helped to or invented the two-handed katana style. Who's also kind of a tactical genius in terms of like, I'm gonna show up to this duel late to piss off my opponent, and when he loses his not his physical presence, his mental presence, I'm gonna beat him with a single wooden oar. Why? Because that's the most humiliating thing that I could possibly think of. Not only do I show up late, making him angry, so he's losing his patience, so he's not clear-headed into our fight. Then, instead of fighting him with a sword, I'm gonna fight him with a oar. It's gonna put my opponent off balance because A, he's used to fighting with swords, and B, he's probably super pissed now that I won't even fight him on his level. So yeah, that's my story. Yeah.